Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Watch What Happens Live, the episode with Shamea.
Listen here, I need to know more about this situation. So guess what? I watched What Happened Live and I heard it from the horse's mouth. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Let's go.
So Shamea explains her meetup with Ralph, how he wanted advice on the podcast, and she wanted a third party there in case anything went wrong, and also to get a little bit of extra tea.
Why?
Shamea confirms that she and Portia are not as close as they used to be because Andy brought up how it was online. Seemed like you guys weren't, and she confirms that is true.
Yeah.
She discusses how Angela relayed her own feelings. Not that she was wrong, but she relayed that to Portia, and it was stirring the pot.
Okay.
Shamea never confided in Angela. She said the ladies approached her with different things that happened, and Shamea said that, yes, that hurt my feelings in the moment, but we moved past it.
Okay.
She talks about how she wouldn't allow the women to get between their friendship. Then it's discussed how she believes Portia is doing the woe is me thing when she's trying to make herself the victim, saying, oh, I'm a piece of ish friend. I'm a terrible friend.
Yeah.
Then Shamea tries to give Portia grace by not discussing their issues on camera. And she says apparently Cynthia is her closest friend, but all of those things are just digs at her, which she realizes.
Let's stop right there for a second, right? Because that line right there made me go back to what you said in the previous, not in the last one, but in the one before last episode, to where that one-on-one conversation where Cynthia and Portia was in the bedroom because Portia needed a close friend, a confidant in the moment to basically, hey, I'm feeling down. Drew crashed my birthday party. I'm just feeling all this stress. And she chose Cynthia? I'm like, you met Cynthia way after the fact when you was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was strange to me once you pointed it out that, hey, why not bring Shamea up there? What was your thoughts on that?
My thoughts about that. Well, yeah, in the moment, I felt like Portia was taking, I don't know if it was a dig at Shamea, but it was just a little bit weird that your best friend's on the trip. She's checking on you, trying to make sure you're good. But Cynthia was the energy that you needed.
Which is wild, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And also the whole conversation about her meeting up with Ralph. I'm glad she admitted a little bit that she was trying to get a little bit of tea because you guys were not meeting up to talk about a podcast.
Not at all.
And then when she's saying how Angela wasn't necessarily wrong about portraying the situation to Portia the way that she did, but Shamea was saying that she always likes to extend grace to Portia to not have these conversations on camera. It just sounds to me that you guys never really have conversations to resolve issues. You guys have conversations enough to say that you said it, but to sweep it under the rug, and Portia also doesn't have to change her behavior.
No. And guess what? I think we've seen a testament of that in the first episode to where Portia was late, right? And when Portia was late and when y'all was behind the door and the cameras wasn't allowed to go back there, and, you know, Portia like, I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. And that's when Shamea was like, you know what? It doesn't even matter, right? So if that's how you handle every situation, or if that's how you handle every conversation you have with Portia, then of course you never get to the root of the issue, because Portia could just say sorry, and you just say it is what it is, right?
Or you just let it roll off your back. She don't even have to say sorry.
Exactly.
Like when she was playing the music and Portia was having all this stuff to say, and Shamea was just like, okay, Portia, like, okay.
Exactly.
Without really telling her, stop doing that.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about it, right? I'm not saying that Shamea was blaming Angela, but the whole idea of saying like everything that Angela said, you know, basically trying to make it seem like, oh, well, you know, that's not exactly the case, but, you know, Angela wasn't telling the whole truth, but she's not lying. I'm like, no. The same way as you had intentions in the first scene with Ralph to stir the pot, don't be mad that Angela came with her big spoon and she stirred y'all little friendship gumbo and basically so they could have some flavor for the season and things of that nature. So my thing is, you cannot be mad at Angela for what she did in the sense of stirring up the drama amongst y'all when you try to stir up drama with Portia, with Ralph, trying to get some tea on Drew.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't be mad now when like the rabbit got the gun.
But I think it hurts because she knows that Portia is never going to give her the type of love and respect that she gives Portia.
Yeah.
And for her to actually have to face it on camera to have a conversation, that's why I think she probably avoids conversations with Portia, because she knows how Portia's going to act.
Yeah.
And if it's up to Portia, there won't be a friendship because Portia, like Shamia said, we aren't close by my doing. I've reached out. I've done the things that I'm supposed to do. And Portia's just like, we haven't talked, and it is what it is. Yeah. So if she doesn't care to talk to you to resolve it, then I think that tells you how Portia views you when it comes to friendship.
Yeah.
Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it could just be that Portia is somebody who doesn't like to have hard conversations. Yeah. Portia over everything.
Pretty much. Let's keep going.
So Shamia talks about how she is a loyal friend, but she wouldn't consider that being a lapdog.
Sorry. You took an actual picture, right, of you basically sitting on Portia's lap, acting like you was a dog, right? My thing is this. It's all fun and games when you try to make things roll off your back, trying to make a joke out of it, right? We're like, oh yeah, I'll be a dog. Even in the Watch What Happened Live, I think it was in the first episode of the season, to where you barked and stuff like that to make fun of it and things like that. Now, all of a sudden, now that you know that y'all not on good footing and things like that, that lapdog comment is starting to sting a little bit, right? Now it's no more lapdog jokes.
Yeah.
Now it's no more, I'm not gonna sit on this grown woman's lap and act like I'm her little puppet and things of that nature. My thing is, it never was funny. Dude, you get what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, you knew, not us, not me, not Blair, not the public, you knew the real state of your friendship with Portia. You knew the in and outs and how she's not accountable and how she may be late here, and then you finding out on camera that, oh, she didn't come because y'all was in a bad place and you didn't know that y'all was in a bad place. You knew all those minor details that we are not privy to, but yet you chose publicly to make fun of yourself about being a lapdog? No. I'm not giving you no bail out of jail for that one, Shamia. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Andy talks about how he is hoping that this is just kind of like a hump in their friendship, and not necessarily a stop to their friendship. But Shamia says she's stopping it. At this point, she needs some reciprocation in order for them to move forward. Shamia didn't know that Portia didn't come to her wedding because they were beefing, and they go to a commercial break. They come back, and apparently Shamia got emotional during the break. She's saying that, people always tell me to wake up, but she really felt like Portia was a sister to her. And Andy says that she's still a sister. You guys, you're going to be able to come back around. And she says that, she did welcome Phaedra back on the show. And she was a little bit nervous and unsure of it at first because of the rumors that Phaedra threw out about her, about sleeping with Candy and Todd.
Yeah.
Which Portia didn't have her back at the time.
Did not.
But she said that it actually turned out to be better than she thought.
So let me ask Shamia the same question that she asked this season about Angela, right? How are you going to be mad and forgive? This is what Shamia was saying about Portia and Angela's relationship. How are you going to be mad and then forgive Portia, but then be mad at me, right? When I didn't do the room, only thing I did was laugh, and now you coming at my character talk about, as a married woman, you should not have been laughing at Portia and things like that. Now let's flip it on its head, right? Phaedra was the one who came up with the rumor, right? Portia was the one that supported the rumor, right? Right? You closed the door with Portia, apparently, right? With the whole idea of, hey, I need to receive something back in this relationship. Like, I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna reach out and things of that nature. But then you welcome Phaedra back with open arms when she's the one that started the whole thing about you in the first place? I don't understand the logic there. Do you understand the logic there?
I think that it matters the timeline. I don't think she was welcoming Phaedra back with open arms necessarily.
Okay.
I think that she did that with Portia.
Okay.
Because that's her bestie. So, they just, push things under the rug and just move on and continue their friendship. But I feel like with Phaedra, she probably did put Phaedra on ice.
Okay. Because my thing is, not put on ice, she needs to be frozen.
Yeah.
Like, even with the whole welcoming, I thought I was going to be nervous with her coming back to the show. Like, I don't want to see any type of, friendship is a strong word. I want to see what it looks like when Shamia holds someone accountable. And maybe that's what I'm getting to. Because there's something off about this whole situation with this whole Portia thing, and I'm going to touch on that in a minute. But I'm like, what does it look like, Shamia, when you hold someone accountable? when you put someone on ice. I don't want to see when Phaedra come in this season in the last episode, the last 2 episodes, whenever she's supposed to show up. I don't want to see you kikiing with her. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see you over there trying to build bridges with her, because she did not think of you when she was burning bridges and putting these things out on your name and things of that nature. So I want to see, what does that look like when Shamea holds someone accountable, and what are your thoughts before I go deeper into this?
I guess my thing is, I kind of want to make the conversation a little bit broader about like lack of reciprocation in friendship. Okay. Right. And I think that when you do consider someone a friend of yours, maybe you might consider them closer than they consider you. That it is pretty much a slap in the face when you realize, oh, we're not as good of a friends as I thought we were. And especially for it to be this many years, this long, different events, the wedding went by and Portia never told her why she really didn't come to her wedding. Yeah. Then that really is a punch to the gut. And so with her getting emotional during commercial breaks and saying, I know everybody's telling me to wake up, this girl's not your friend, but Shamea really considered her sister, her best friend. I mean, she knew her since she was a child. Like, this is someone that she's done life with. And so I can give her a bit of amount of grace for not waking up to the antics of Portia, because like she says, she's such a loyal person, which I think that she's loyal to a fault, because at a certain point, like, you're a grown woman and another grown woman should not be mistreating you in the way that she has, or disrespecting you, or not considering you in the way of a friend that you hold as a standard to the friendships that you want to be in. Yeah. And I guess it took them till 40 something to figure it out, but I get why she's hurt by it,
I guess the reason why I kind of am hesitant on getting why she's hurt by it is because these are just the things we've seen that Portia has done. That is
very true.
So, and the things we've seen, if this is how Portia shows up on camera, I can only imagine how she shows up in the real friendship off camera, right? So here's what is off about the situation for me. If we go by your logic and basically saying like, hey, I can understand that y'all been friends since y'all was kids and things of that nature. If we go by the timeline of since y'all been kids, you have a whole bunch of information, years, decades, and things of that nature of information if that person is a good friend or not. Why did it take a conversation with Angela or you being on TV for you to actually see, for your eyes to open? If people on camera telling you to wake up, people off camera in like your life telling you to wake up, what is it that is special about this moment? Because Portia didn't do nothing in this moment outside of the moments in the past.
Right.
Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, there have been bigger moments.
So that's why I'm like, something is off about all of this. What is it about this moment that made you go, you know what? Now I need to receive more than give.
If I could speculate
for me.
That I would think that with her being a full-time peach holder and actually having to sit down and confront Portia, that it probably is a little bit of shame that you allow this girl to play on your head all these years. Yeah. And for you to be in the light and to be somewhat of a nucleus of the show, and to, like Angela was saying, well, she doesn't really want to be seen as the lapdog anymore and all this type of stuff. She probably knows how she's coming across. If you ask me, when she was having that meeting with Ralph and Portia, she did not look comfortable to me.
Oh, okay.
She did not look comfortable to me, and I don't know that lady. She could have been very comfortable in her chair eating her food.
Who knows?
But to me, I didn't think she looked comfortable and happy and, ooh, let's get to the tea. Let's get to the bottom of it. I think she's just like, well, I'm here because Portia wanted to have this scene. So, you know what I'm saying? So I just think that it's gotten to a certain point to where if Shamea is the breakout star that she wants to be for Housewives, she has to get up from underneath Portia's shadow. And I think maybe she was comfortable in that position as a friend of the show, but she had to step out of that being a lead character, And I could be totally wrong.
But listen.
But that's just how I see it from my limited information.
But my thing is, that makes sense, though, from your limited information. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That's why I was like, this is something, like, I feel like there's a puzzle piece, no matter how big or small it is, that we're missing. That what was the hay that broke the camel's back? Now I will say this though, the fact that this is Shamea's first full-time season on the show, I would think that there would be at least more scenes with Portia and Shamea together. That's what I thought it would be. If you're going to not talk about your real life Portia and things of that nature, right, I thought that you would at least be someone of an assistance to at least Shamea. Like, this is your first season. I know they got me in the middle. They got you kind of in the middle and things of that nature. We get to have some girlfriend time, and y'all get to actually see the friendship on the screen. And that kind of, in my way, or in my way of thinking, now I understand that y'all believe Portia is not as smart as she believes she is and things of that nature, hence the Underground Railroad scene and things like that. But I'm like, Portia, one way to get the heat off of you is to show what's going on in your life currently. You don't have to talk about Simon if you want to hide Simon and things of that nature. You could talk about how you are rebuilding your life, and you could talk about how you showing up for your friend Shamea instead of this whole like Drew thing.
You know what could have been cute too? Seeing Shamea and Portia with their daughters on like a play date. Like that would have been so cute. I know we got the play date with Dennis' daddy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But I'm just saying, like, do y'all get y'all kids together? Do y'all hang out? You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is, she's not even doing it for the camera.
Right.
So if you're not even doing it for the camera, which a lot of people believe that reality TV is produced or even overproduced, are y'all doing it off camera? Because I'm thinking like, hey, what is the normality of your friendship? Because I'm not even seeing that on TV. And I'm like, Portia is known to overproduce and to make sure things are, you know, in place for her, to make sure the narrative is correct. And I'm like, in Portia's whole narrative, Shamea is not involved at all outside of her birthday, and that's the first episode. Everything else, she focused on Drew, who she don't even know like that. So I'm like, all of this is just off. All of this is, now granted, Portia should be happy. It should be grateful for Angela for stirring the spoon up and giving basically both of them a storyline and things of that nature. Because eventually we are going to circle back to Angela once we get to her messy situation. But right now, I'm happy with this. But I just find it very strange that we know y'all are friends, but I don't really see it on the screen. Like we're going off of what we've seen in the past to justify that, oh yeah, y'all best friends and things like that. But when it came down to Shamea playing her song, when it came down to Shamea's birthday, when it came down to just the normality of what's going through in her life with her daughter and things like that, I don't see really much Shamea leaning on her best friend.
Right.
Do you get what I'm like?
Right.
Do you kind of get what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
I see more Britt and Kelly at one point leaning on each other before, you know, they had a falling out and things of that nature. Then I see Shamea and Portia, and we know Portia and Shamea to be best friends.
Yeah.
Weird. That's why I said something just off about this whole situation. And I'm going to get down to it.
Oh, that's all I got.
That's all you got? Listen here, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. I'm not going to get down to it. I'm going to move on to the next video. and when more information come out, we will talk about it. Anything else?
That's it.
Y'all be good.
Bye.